Welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo Podcast. I am Joey Calvo. I do apologize for the technical delay that booted me out. This internet and I have not been working very well recently, so it's going to do that to me. So today we have, and also before we get started, a couple things before I get to Theresa, and I apologize, Theresa, for this. Please continue to help support the victims of the Texas floods and the California wildfires. They do need our help as they are rebuilding. And also, a former guest of mine by the name of Kimberly Kravitz-Buck, her precious son has been entered in a contest for Baby of the Year. And so I am asking support for you to vote for CC. Well, his real name is Carter Chase Buck. And so go to that website that's right there. That's going to be on there on the screen as we're talking. So vote for him for Baby of the Year. He is so adorable. I mean, you take one look at this baby. He is so precious. And Kimberly's been a big supporter of this podcast, so this is the least I can do. So I hope that CC gets a lot of votes from all of us, and you can vote once a day, minimum once a day. And so definitely go to that website. Like I said, it'll be up on the screen as we are talking. And so today I have Theresa Oschmann. And she's passionate about helping business owners, sales professionals, and entrepreneurs stand out in a crowded digital world through the power of personalized direct mail. After over 20 years in higher education, sales, and marketing, she took the leap of faith into entrepreneurship and built her brand, the Mailbox Maven, about creating genuine connection and driving results. So, Theresa, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Joey, for having me on today. Appreciate it.
Okay, so let's go to how did the Mailbox Maven begin?
Well, the Mailbox Maven began, she's been a work in progress for the last 20 plus years. And as you mentioned earlier, my career in sales is in higher education, sales and marketing. And the way I helped someone else take that business to over $1 million in sales annually was through writing thank you cards, sending birthday cards, sometimes, sadly, sending sympathy cards. So I built it in a digital world by using something that cut through the digital fatigue. And some people call it old school. I call it intentional direct mail. Mm-hmm. And so fast forward a few years, well, actually many. And so people had started to ask me, how do you do what you're doing? And I started to show them how I'm doing what I'm doing. And next thing you know, I launched the Mailbox Maven. So here we are 25 plus years later. And I am now working with business professionals, entrepreneurs in sales, folks in sales to really help them take their business to the next level simply by helping people to feel connected, valued, and seen.
Okay. All right. So you started the Mailbox Maven. You took it out and you're helping entrepreneurs build their brand. Yep. In reference to picking your brain,
sure.
In reference to this, saying, for example, I came to you.
Okay.
How could we build this brand of this podcast?
Absolutely. So we would have a chit chat about what your goals are. What are you currently doing? What's been working? What hasn't? And we would find out whether or not direct mail would be a good fit for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that would be the essence of the conversation. what's working? What are you doing? Have you tried direct mail? Because honestly, sometimes when I say direct mail, people will go like this. They'll do this and go, oh, no, that ends up in the recycling bin. People don't look at it, etc. And I'll go, you're right. They absolutely don't if you're not doing it the right way. And one of the ingredients to the secret sauce, if there's such a thing, is personalization and making it personal to the person that's receiving it. And it's not a one and done deal. It's a multi-touch. We've all heard the sale is not made, or the etc. So it's not a one and done deal. So how do we keep that momentum going?
Okay. All right. So this podcast has got a Facebook GoFundMe campaign right now to try to actually upgrade and expand in reference to it. And it's on the bottom of the ticker, on the bottom of the screen, below the little bubble about CC. But it's in the ticker there. So, all right. So you would take the podcast. We sit down, we discuss what's needed and how can we expand it.
Correct.
And then you would so give me the advice I would need on it, and then I would run from that. So what do you think of like these with emails now, with Constant Contact and MailChimp and stuff? Do you believe in them?
Absolutely. So I'm not telling anyone, nor would I ever say get rid of your digital efforts. Okay. What we want to do with direct mail, the tangible touch, is to enhance your digital efforts. So your GoFundMe, people who are contributing, the first place I would start, Joey, is to send them a heartfelt thank you card, something that arrives in the mail. And I've actually got one that I received.
Right.
And it could look like anything you want.
Right.
But there it is. It came in a real envelope.
Right.
And it was addressed to me. It has the branding of the person that sent it to me. He's got a QR code here, etc. But it was a sincere thank you card. There was no marketing message. So basically it just said they wanted to thank me for a referral that I gave them. And that was it. And they signed off, and it's a really nice card.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. A second. I'm doing two things at one time, folks.
I can relate.
I'm doing my multitasking now.
Okay.
So in reference to, let me get back to here we go. Oh, right here. All right. So discuss how you combined relationship building strategies with these tools.
Absolutely. So the rule of thumb is 80% of the time we build the relationship, right? 20% of the time is marketing, but we never ever mix the two together. So I'll use an example. Realtors will often say, thank you so much for the opportunity to sell your home. The best compliment I can receive is a referral. So now what they've done is they've taken the gratitude, they've asked for something, and they voided the gratitude. What should have happened there was, thank you so much, Joey, for the opportunity to sell your house. It was great working with you, or whatever else the verbiage is. And then a couple of days later, 3 days later, whatever, it would have been that asking for, saying a referral, or maybe even asking for a review.
Okay,
but we never mix the two together. And people have come up with some really creative ways to do their 20% of marketing. One of my favorites is one of my clients does instead of Valentine's Day, instead of saying, "Hey, will you be my Valentine?" they would say something like, "Joey, will you be my referral partner?"
Great.
So
Okay.
that mix.
Okay. All right. And then, so can you give some actionable tips on cultivating lasting connections to both life and business?
Absolutely. So it's all about authentic connections, right? And really building those and leaving people impacting their lives, whether it's personal or in business, through connection. There's encouragement and leaving people feeling seen, supported. And I also like to say loved. And it has to be authentic. People can see through when you're being disingenuine. And also, it's really, really important. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies. Allergies this year are pretty nasty. So anyway, when we combine a strategy of blending direct mail, relationship marketing, and personal storytelling in ways that help people feel truly valued, it just goes in, it's not just the person that you're sending that card to, that gift to, it also changes you as the person who's sending it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So with all this as well,
Yes.
So you know, like you said, you shared your story and how you became the Mailbox Maven. You explained how to combine the relationship building with the tools, and so on. Talk about your podcast, Hanging Out for a Living.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because I was going to ask you to be a guest. I hope you'll consider it.
Yeah. I'll be happy to. Matter of fact, like, I'm unemployed right now, so I mean, I could even do it this week for you.
Actually looking out into October, so that's how busy it's become.
Okay.
So I'll get back in touch with you with the proposed date.
Well, my podcast is going back to Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays starting in October, with some exceptions of some Wednesdays.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's going to be Monday through Thursday starting in October. And then by November and December, it goes back to Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That's what I normally do these.
Yeah, okay.
But
sure.
Because, of course, being unemployed right now, it's kind of hard. And who knows how much longer I'll be able to keep these podcasts up without, financing, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I'll be happy. I mean, I've had a couple of podcasts actually ask me to come on, but I was at the time not like a big, not that I didn't want to do it. It's just I didn't feel that it would have been right at that time.
Fair enough.
So for you, I'm breaking every extension, and to the fans that do watch these podcasts, yes, I am going to go on her podcast for her coming on mine. Okay, that is my reasoning of why I'm doing it. So we're going to get that clear.
Absolutely.
Because she came on this podcast, I'm going to go on hers. So
awesome.
I apologize about my eyes.
Oh, no worries.
It's bothering me. But explain what what this podcast is really about. What, like, like this podcast is supposed to be Life with Theresa.
So this podcast is basically, it's called Hanging Out for a Living. And it's a space actually where I spotlight people from all walks of life and share stories, where they share their stories, they share lessons, and they also share wisdom that come from real connection. And I invite people to go to, it's YouTube. It's on YouTube, called Hanging Out for a Living. You'll see my picture and my white hair. Yeah. And I invite people to take a look. And if it resonates, I'm always looking for guests. So,
okay.
if it resonates, then reach out to me, and I would be happy to carry on the conversation and book something.
Oh, I got a ton of guests I could probably send to you. Matter of fact, I know of 2.
Okay.
At least. Matter of fact, I will reach out to them today.
Okay, perfect.
And even if they, you'll actually get a copy of the email, because I'll actually wind up, because in the emails, if you put the little @ sign and then your name, right, your email, it'll come up, and then you wind up getting a copy of the email.
Okay, perfect.
So, but what I'll do is I'll email you first to give you the available dates that I have.
Oh, wonderful! That would be great.
That way, you can. Now, you are in the West Coast, right?
No, I'm on Eastern.
You're on Eastern time, like I am. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But
no, yeah, I hear you about time zones. So
yeah.
Eastern.
Yeah, because one guest I will throw to you. Matter of fact, the one guest I will send you,
okay,
is on Instagram and Twitter, and she is very good with she's got a program of safety in reference to children.
Okay.
And she has a program, and in this program, she works with landlords, multi-apartment buildings, because she was in real estate and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and her name is Sabrina Asso. So she's getting a free plug out of this. And the other one that I'm going to have back on here October the 14th, but she was great. She's great, and so great we're going to do it again. And because there's more questions that I may have for her. She actually was on the radio. She was a radio personality, a radio news personality. And she did the last interview with John and Yoko Ono.
Oh my gosh, okay.
The evening before he got shot.
Oh.
Matter of fact, the day he was shot. So she did the last interview with him, and then a couple hours later he was shot and killed.
It's terrible.
And her name is Lori Kay. She has a lot of stories that she can tell.
Wonderful.
So I will send those 2 to you, and hopefully they'll agree to come on. Like I said, and I will give my dates as well, because my story practically is right now I'm unemployed. And so this podcast was really a side hustle.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my story now, and I'm going to get the clashing and everything, feedback wise. But this podcast really started in 2019 as a side hustle. At the time I was working from home.
Okay.
And I wasn't making a lot of money. And so I figured, if I do this and get a lot of listeners and yada, 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 I'll make some money off of it. No. So in this year, I started working on, I was let go. Well, I was in between. No. I left the work at home job because I was getting stressed out.
Okay.
And then I started working at Amazon. And so when I started working on Amazon, I was like, okay, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I could do this and still be able to do it. So the podcast was a little slow. And then I was let go from Amazon in February, actually January 31st of this year. But before January 31st, and in between when I started it in 2019 to that point, I had supermodel. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I can't use supermodel for this person. She is a model, and she is an actress. You might have heard of her, Carol Alt.
Mm-hmm. I have
Well,
heard.
her and I are friends, so we do talk still. I am also friends with a smooth jazz. His name is at the bottom of the ticker as well. And then, okay, there we go. And then I had, believe it or not, when William Shatner went to space, I had Gregory Jabbar from CBS's Blue Bloods on this podcast.
Okay.
And we had a nice little talk. And he had his Michigan gear on because he's a big Michigan fan. And actually in the show, I actually did see this, but there are some episodes of Blue Bloods where he is wearing his Michigan gear.
Ah, okay.
Showing off Michigan because he is a big Michigan fan. So definitely that's part of my story. But in 2025, like I said, in January, I lost my job. So I've been searching for a job, but at the same time, my equipment that I use, especially this, is now if I took a picture of this and posted it on Instagram and all that, no one would believe me that this computer is really busted. Believe it or not. This Chromebook is actually cracked right underneath. It's like opened up underneath. So I don't know if it's from when I packed it so much or when it got crushed, as I was traveling, when I took it to Atlantic City to do podcasts and stuff. But that is kind of one of the reasons why, we did the GoFundMe. The second reason is because I wanted to expand it. And I have reached out to different places, different ideas. So that's also on the bottom of the ticker. Believe it or not, I have actually spoken to the World Broadcast Network TV, and they were going to let this podcast go on Roku TV, Apple, etc. But it was going to cost me $3,600 a month.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was kind of one reason why I mentioned it in the GoFundMe. Recently, I mentioned about these ads that I had before we got started with the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I had them on there to attract, if anybody calls those phone numbers on there, I make a commission off of it.
Ah, okay.
And then I reached out to like T-Mobile and different companies and attempted to get on the radio. We are attempting to get on the radio. So if there's any national, like T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, if any of the national, recognizable companies want to go national, reach out to me here because if you'd like to sponsor this podcast on the radio, this podcast would go to Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles / San Bernardino, Atlanta, and Boston for 1 hour a week to start. So if anybody that works in a national company like AT&T, Goodyear Tire, Cricket even, reach out to me, leave a comment about it, and then I'll reach out to you. And if your company is interested in sponsoring this podcast on the radio, then off on the radio we go. And like I said, it would be in Boston, Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, and Seattle. So 5 good markets. Very good market. It would reach out to about another 28 million people in reference to that. So all right. So Theresa, I'm sorry I pulled this away from you.
That's okay.
But how can people reach out to you?
Absolutely. They can reach out to me at with email. It's Theresa, my first name, Theresa with an H, at themailboxmaven.com, or give me a call, 585-748-4719. Again, that's 585.
Hold up. Go ahead.
Yep, 585-748-4719.
Okay. I was typing it up as you're mentioning it. So, yeah. All right. So here's how you reach out to Theresa. And so definitely reach out to her if you really want to expand your business out. If you want to sponsor this podcast, reach out to me. I'll be happy to show you how we can do it and make it happen. Because I'm almost about to say time is running out in reference to it. As much as I have podcasts going on until the end of the year, but in reference to being able to provide it is the challenge at this point. And so, as much as I'm looking for a job to be able to keep this going, I do need help. And I've already had my naysayers saying, oh, no one's going to support you, blah, 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 blah. But they all think because that I'm going to take what is given and go to Atlantic City. Because, yes, I do go to the casinos, folks. Okay, I'm not ashamed to say that. Okay, and it got to the point where even the doctors think I have a gambling problem. I don't. To me, I don't. It's a safe zone to me, but there's another reason to that. So, that's my comfort. That's my comfortableness is when I get that opportunity to go out. That's where I like to go sometimes. But recently, I've been going to church. I've been sitting in the park and everything. So, I'm learning other things to do than going to a casino. But in reference to enjoyment or when I really want to let loose, that's my comfort zone. So, all right. So, but, I tell those naysayers go F themselves for that because, the money that is being raised for this actually is going to be for a new computer and also to expand this to where it can go out to more people and reach out and make some money off of it, because with the World Broadcast Network TV, they were going to charge me $3,600 a month, but it was going on Apple TV, Roku TV, all them. And then any advertising, I made the money off of that. Yeah. So it pays for itself in the long run.
Right.
And then hopefully with these ads the commercial that I ran, hopefully, people call that number and like, okay, yeah, because that's on diabetes. But the only thing is, when they hear it on YouTube, they don't hear the vocal to it. They see the picture. They just don't get the audio to it. And that's one thing that really bugs me about it. And I've said something to the person that sent me these ads. And then the other one, trying to even play it is even hard. But definitely check out Theresa, and go to the mailboxmaven.com. And if you go there, reach out to her or call her. She'll guide you and put your brand out there and get you going. So I do thank you, Theresa, for coming on the podcast. You're welcome to come back on at any time. Just reach out to me, and you will see me on Hanging for a Living sometime soon. If not October, probably November or before December, because I do my year-end podcast usually either before Christmas or after Christmas in reference to it. And usually I've done it in Atlantic City. This year. It might not be in Atlantic City, but it will be done anyway, if it gets done. So definitely stay tuned. But definitely, folks, please help this podcast in any way possible, because I'm on my wit's end. I'm doing all I can. And with this job economy right now, the way the jobs are going, they're hiring and everything, but when you put in nothing. So it's not like I'm saying this because of what's going on. I'm saying it because I am working on it. It's not like I'm not sitting on my rear end 24/7. I mean, outside of doing these podcasts, I'm not sitting 24/7 on my rear end. I do make attempts, but those attempts have not been the greatest. So again, Theresa, thank you so much. And I apologize for taking a little bit away from you about this, but definitely check out Theresa, email Theresa, call Theresa, get your brand out there. She'll be happy to help you in every which way. And I thank everybody for watching the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. God bless you all.
All right. Thanks, Joey. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.